kicking off something special in EIM. Today, those of us that have been under the tutelage and mentorship of Dr. Jumi get to pour back into us, having produced results that are tangible and, relatable. And today, one of such people, Dr. Folakemi Makinwa, will be leading the group, leading this campaign. So I hope you're ready. I have my notebooks and my pen on my side because I know it's going to be a very expository and enlightening time. And I hope you're all ready as well with our writing materials. Okay, so Dr. Oluwakemi, before I give you the floor, I'd like to introduce you so that everyone can know you and know who you are and what you do. And our session topic is very interesting, actually. It's titled Designing Your Career from Surviving to Thriving. Medicine teaches us how to care for parents, for our patients, even patients' relatives, manage the patient in his or her context, but it really teaches us how to intentionally build a fulfilling career, a career that we'll be proud of when we go back home. And in this practical and reflective session, Dr. Folakemi Makinwa, sorry, I hope I pronounced your name rightly. She will be exploring the reasons why physicians feel stuck in their careers despite being accomplished. And she'll introduce 4 pillars today of intentional career design. And these pillars are clinical excellence, visibility, leadership, and financial diversification. That really got my attention. And through her personal stories and actionable strategies, every participant will be able to will leave feeling equipped to define their own career, their vision, and also take meaningful steps towards a career that is impactful, sustainable, and also aligned with their values. I'll be briefly introducing Dr. Folakemi Makinwa. She's a physician and she's a healthcare administrator. She's passionate about career development, leadership, and helping doctors build fulfilling careers with intention. Drawing from her experience in both clinical practice and healthcare operations, she enjoys exploring the intersection of medicine, strategy, and professional growth. Through writing, mentorship, and speaking, she encourages female physicians to embrace visibility, lifelong learning, and opportunities beyond the traditional career paths. Dr. Makinwa, it's a pleasure to have you today speak to us. You now have the floor.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction and the summary of what I'm going to speak about today. I hope everyone can see my slides right now. I'm sharing my screen. Hello?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. All right, so my name, as already been introduced, is I am Dr. Folakemi Makinwa. Right now, I currently work as a claims reconciliation officer, and I've had background in clinical medicine as well. So this combination didn't happen by accident, and that's what really I'm talking about today, designing a career on purpose, not just drifting into one or just not following the crowd, because I know that as physicians, we tend to just follow the already beaten path. Then when there's a clear trajectory, okay, I write exams, become a consultant. But sometimes you have to align with your personality and what your purpose is in life. So I hope we're all ready and we can begin. So, like earlier stated, the title of this presentation is Designing Your Career from Surviving to Thriving. Okay, so the first thing I would like to ask everyone is, what did you want your life to look like when you entered medical school? For me, it was about going to classes, you understand, becoming a very good doctor. I mean, how many people here read the Ben Carson novel, Gifted Hands? No one?
I know I did. I did growing up.
Yes. I
Mm.
also read data when I came into okay, wow. A few people read that. That's good to know. I also read the book and I also thought that okay, once I entered medical school, I was going to become a neurosurgeon. I would be practicing in the United States. But just take a second, picture yourself the day you got your admission letter into medical school. What do you think your life would look like by now? So I want you to just hold that picture while coming back to it. Okay. So my story, this is basically my life story from medical school till now. So I went to Babcock University, Benjamin S. Carson School of Medicine, and I graduated medical school in 2019. And after that, I did the mandatory postgraduate training. That's housemanship. I did my housemanship in General Hospital, Lagos in Marina, and I rotated through the different specialties, the internal medicine, surgery, obstetrics and gynecology, pediatrics. Then after that, I started out purely as clinical medicine in the organization I currently work in, that's Avon Medical Practice. And I started off with clinical medicine, and I was also put in charge of telemedicine at that time. So I was rotating both clinical and telemedicine. Then I was eventually moved to operations where I do claims reconciliation and basically revenue cycle work. And yes, I'm currently in the billing unit. Now, my path has been anything but linear. Don't let this colorful slide fool you. It wasn't just medical school, clinical practice, administration. It wasn't that straight. But each stage prepared me for the next. I used to think I was late. I've learned instead to give myself grace because I'm not late. I just started building something new, and that takes time to catch on. So for anybody that is here feeling, oh my goodness, people my age have moved so far in life, people my age have done great things and behind in life, we have to know that everybody has their own race to run. So, and I thank God for this community, this mentorship community that has given me the opportunity to have a mentor and to be mentored by people, and as well as giving me the opportunity to mentor others. And while I'm still a work in progress, I appreciate the opportunity to also mentor other people because a lot of if people have asked me how to go about healthcare administration, and sometimes I'll be like, I don't really know, but I'm here to share my story. And so anybody that is here with a pen and their notebooks can also take down notes and be able to map out their own trajectory instead of just following the traditional path. So right now I do some writing via my LinkedIn post, if you know about it, the district dispensary, about a doctor merging both clinical medicine and administrative medicine. Then I'm also positioning myself for international opportunities while still evolving and working at the same time. So yes. So why many doctors feel stuck? So these are the main traps, the common traps, because everyone in the room, everybody here would recognize them. First of all, we follow a particular script. We follow a rigid one right path version of medicine. You graduate from medical school, you do your internship, you write your exams, you become a consultant, you do research, and like that. And another thing is we chase milestones. And okay, I have now graduated from medical school. I'm writing my exams. I'm now a junior resident. Okay, after that, I'll practice, I'll write exams, I'll become a senior resident, I'll write exams, I'll become a consultant. Or better still, I want to jackpot. Okay, I'll write PLAB 1, PLAB 2, MSRA, jackpot, or I'll write USMLE and then still jackpot. The plan always revolves around clinical medicine. Another thing is we try to compare ourselves to other people. Comparing our timeline to everyone else has actually done more harm than good. Has actually done more harm than good. And then also we neglect career skills. For example, a lot of people are good at public speaking, but because they have zeroed their mind down to only clinical medicine, they believe that they should not speak up in meetings. But then you can be a health advocate for something that you feel passionate about, like women's health, like special needs children, cases like autism, things like that. I know a lot of doctors that are already speaking up that are just graduating from medical school and already speaking up about things that they are passionate about. So you have to identify the things, the natural things that you are called or you feel inclined to do. Another thing is that okay, I want to reduce this. The last slide here is that we we wait for permission for the right time instead of just starting. Okay, we'll just say that okay, when I jackpot, I will also have a side hustle. When I become a junior resident, when I become a senior resident, this is when I will have enough knowledge to be able to do this particular project. But we have to focus on just starting here and now. Okay, is everybody following?
Yes.
All right. So none of this is about ambition. For you to be a female physician, you already have ambition. Ambition was what got you inside medical school. Remember the application process to get inside medical school? You had to have the right grades. It's not easy to just enter medical school. Remember WAEC, remember JAM, or if you're an international student, remember all the things you had to put in place to become a medical doctor. Then remember the rigorous exams, the reading. You had to first of all read for anatomy, then physiology. Our first medical MB really humbled a lot of us. That's when I actually discovered I did not want to become a neurosurgeon. And then after that, you now have to write exams to become a clinical doctor. You understand? You have to move from non-clinical to clinical. That's pathology, pharmacology. Then you now enter the rounds, internal medicine, obstetrics, etc. So every woman in this room is ambitious. So it's something else. It's not only about being ambition. It's also about intention. So, like I said earlier, like I just said, we don't lack ambition, we lack intention. You have to sit down and just map out your life. What exactly do you want out of life? Do you want to continuously, if you are very passionate about clinical medicine, about research, then go into that. But if you find yourself thinking about strategy, about finance, there's nothing wrong. You do not miss your track, you do not miss your path in life. You may just need a few tweaking, you may just need some tweaking of your already career path. For example, I'll use ourselves as an example. When I in the secondary school I went to, we were given went from JS3 to SS1, we're given an exam, which will divide us into whether we're supposed to be in science class, art class, or commercial. My highest score wasn't in science. My highest score was in commercial, and I was advised to do business administration, things like that. But I really at that stage, I really liked sciences. I liked geography, I liked biology, I liked chemistry, I liked physics. And so I told them that I wanted to do science. And so I went into science, I went into medical school. I completed my medical education and I graduated. I never repeated a class. Like I went from 100 level to 200 level, 300 level, and so on. So after that, but I found myself attuned to strategy and administrative work. For example, when I was in medical school, in 200 level and 300 level, I was part of the administration or the association, sorry, of Babcock University medical students. I was in the Senate, and Senate had to do with a lot of policies and things like that. And I was also the secretary of the Senate for 2 years. After which I did not do anything. I was part of the planning committee for the upcoming in associations in universities usually have a week where they just celebrate the association or the department. So I was part of the planning committee then. Then in 500 level, that's when I actually ran for a post called the financial secretary of the entire association, and I won. And I was the financial secretary for 1 year. It was an eye-opening position, and I understood a lot of things about finances. It was not just about money and calculations. It was also about following up budgeting, following up on people, and that really helped me a lot. So as I was when I finished medical school, I did the housemanship in General Hospital, as I mentioned earlier. But when I was applying for the job, they said I should talk a bit about myself, and I spoke at length about the things I had done, not because I was bragging or anything, but because these were the things that I actually liked to do. And somebody in the panel of people that were interviewing me just made a comment that that next time if I want to apply for a job in clinical field, I should have just removed all this administrative knowledge. At that stage, I at that stage I wanted to become a general practitioner. So I was just like, okay, I took it and everything. But looking back now, I think that was one of the things that actually helped me to move into administrative medicine. So that is my story. So I'll be moving on. So like as stated earlier, ambition gets into medical school, but it is intention that builds the medical career after it. Now, there's a difference between drifting and designing. So, how do you actually design your career? That's what I want to talk about now. So, if you had your pens and your notebooks, this is the time to start writing if you had not started earlier. So, the first pillar is clinical excellence. Your credibility is your greatest currency as a physician. You have to be competent, you have to be curious, you have to be consistent and never stop learning. Despite the specialty you choose, despite whatever it is you're doing in life, you have to know that you are a student for life. That doesn't mean that you'll be carrying a backpack and the notebook up and down, but you have to develop a curious mind. You always have to ask questions, understand why is this happening the way it is, and things like that. So practical examples, attend CME, that's continuous medical examination, or continuous professional development regularly. And although different people have different opinions about the current change in MDCN, where you have to have about, I think, 20 points, CME points, before you are handed over your license, as well as paying for your license. A lot of people have a lot of opinions, but I think it's a good idea because it makes people invested in continuous medical education. Also, you have to stay updated with guidelines. Guidelines change up frequently and quite often nowadays. So you have to be in tune with guidelines because guidelines help us to perfect our care so that we can give our best to our patients and also seek feedback and mentorship. You may think that you are doing things the right way, but until somebody that is older than you in the career and has more experience than you that gives you feedback, you are not really making progress. Sorry? Okay. Then also mentorship, like the Excellence in Medicine Physician Network, EIM, that we're currently in, is a marvelous support group because there are so many times that we have felt stuck. And I realized that we have so many resources. There are different doctors in different specialties in different areas. I remember there was a time we had a meeting with a doctor, a presentation by a doctor who was into health tech. And I really enjoyed that. And I reached out to her. She was very open. So these things are coming at our fingertips, and we have to make use of all the resources that we have so that we can be great in whatever path we choose. So always remember that excellence opens doors, but networking alone, excellence opens doors that networking alone cannot. But and this is the important part, excellence alone is not enough because if nobody knows what you have. You have to put yourself out there. So that brings me to my next point, that my next pillar, which is visibility. So that visibility plus clinical excellence will push you forward in making progress in your career. Is everyone still with me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, if you have questions, please put them in the chat box. I will attend to them at the end of the presentation. The next thing is visibility. People cannot recommend what they cannot see. This is quite basic. So you have to build your network. And that would mean you have to attend seminars, you have to attend meetings, you have to attend, you have to make sure that people know that you possess this clinical excellence because the last pillar was clinical excellence. Once you have developed that, you have to now network. Now you have to update your LinkedIn. You can do this by updating your LinkedIn. You can present at meetings and you can write articles or posts. I write articles twice a week. Yes, twice a week, and join professional organizations as well. Also, for example, the presentations at meetings, you can also volunteer. If they're for, I know a lot of people when they're in the hospitals and they actually ask, okay, who would like to present this topic or this thing? A lot of doctors shy away. I don't want to them to attack me, things like that. But the only way that you can actually learn and move forward in life is if you get feedback. And not all feedback is going to be positive. Some feedback is going to be very, very negative. I went for a professional boot camp recently. That was last weekend. And one of the facilitators said something very important, that some of your best advice is going to come from people that are not nice. And that's something I had to learn the hard way. That not everybody is going to look at you and smile and say, "Oh, you're such a good doctor." Some people are going to say a lot of harsh things to you. You know, and you have to be able to have the resilience to hold your ground and take it. You have to separate your emotions from the knowledge that is being passed across to you. You have to be able to say that, okay, this person is saying this thing, even if the person has a reputation of of not communicating well. Does this person have a point that they're trying to tell me? Somebody can tell you that, that you are, because we, there's a lot of harsh language sometimes by superiors to junior doctors. They can say that, wow, you're this doctor, you don't know anything. You need to you can't read, go back to your books. Maybe you were on a ward round and you went to us and saw a patient suffering from chronic kidney disease. Then you take the knowledge, the feedback is that you need to go and read more about chronic kidney disease. Not that you're a terrible doctor. You understand? For you to have graduated medical school and be holding your MBBS degree and be able to be paying your license and be able to be working, you are a good doctor. For you to be able to seek out opportunities where you can network and be mentored, you're a good doctor. Don't let what people say put you down. But, and this is important, you have to be able to take feedback. I'm saying this because I learned this the hard way. So it's not about and also being visible is not about self-promotion. So opportunities often come through relationships with recommendations and demonstrated expertise. For example, if Dr. Jimmy reached out to me for to be able to put this professional development series together. So it's going to be every month. So this month I'm the one taking it for in the month of August, there'll be somebody taking it, and so and subsequent months as well. And that was because I was always in her face. You understand? I'm always in her DM. This is what is going on. Not random gist that doesn't concern both of us. So it is like professional development things. Okay, Dr. Dreamy, this is the exam I want to do. This I want to go into hospital administration now. This is what I'm doing. This is who I'm talking to. Is there somehow is there any way I can help you? Is there any way this can happen? And then I remember there was a time that we had our monthly feedback sessions with Dr. Dreamy and everything, but she said that we'll just have a one-on-one. I've made a PowerPoint presentation to show my journey with everything with colors. I like colors. I'm a visual oriented person. That's the only way I learn. That's why my slides are colorful. That's the only way I learn. So I was always in her face, talking, chatting. If she doesn't follow up, you understand, I would be the one doing everything. Then also LinkedIn, I'm always there. I'm always connecting with people, talking. Also with the bootcamp I went to this weekend, I had to put myself out there. A lot of people think that I'm extroverted, but no, I'm very introverted. I had to put myself out there. At a point, I was like, am I not a fraudulent person? Am I not an imposter? But I kept on talking to people, and I was just like, oh, I'm a doctor. People were shocked. Oh, really? You're a doctor? And I'll be like, yes. And sometimes introducing myself as a doctor, sometimes I'm shy, and people are like, why are you shy? Did you not graduate? I say yes, and I graduated in 2019, and that means I'm 7 years postgraduate. And it's not as if after the medical school, I went to go and sleep in my house. No, I did my housemanship, I did my NYC, I worked in clinical medicine, I worked in telemedicine. I'm currently the claims reconciliation officer in a private hospital. So it's not as if I just I did not earn the title doctor. So you have to be comfortable being visible, but not being visible and being incompetent. You have to be visible and you have to be competent. And the only way you can be competent is if you have clinical excellence or you have excellence in whatever field you want to do, either it's administrative medicine, whether it is clinical medicine. I hope we're still together. Please, if you have any complaints, let me know.
Yeah, with you.
Okay. The next pillar is leadership. Leadership begins long before the title. Some I would like to quote someone on this. That somebody said that you cannot be a leader without being a follower. So before you begin to lead people, you have to have at least had someone to mentor you, someone that would say, okay, do this, do this. You have to have gone through the process of having feedback, of working on yourself, of pruning yourself, of refining yourself and your skills before you become a leader. So the key points are influence, initiative, integrity, and service. You have to be able to have the influence. It's not about the amount of followers you have on IG or Instagram or on TikTok or on LinkedIn. It's about what impact are you making through your influence. You could be saying a lot of things, but are you saying things that are actually influencing the lives of others positively? Do you have the initiative to actually sit down and say, okay, this is what I want to do. This is my contribution to society as a doctor. You have integrity that is actually verifying the source of your information, because nowadays anybody can just pick up a camera or pick up a phone and start recording. Anybody can buy scrubs and wear a stethoscope and start talking. You have to have integrity in the knowledge you are sharing. Then service. As doctors, whether we like it or not, we are called to the service to humanity. And that could be in either the clinical work or non-clinical work. The fact that you're not going for outreaches, the fact that you're not seeing patients at the bedside, it doesn't mean that you are not serving humanity, because service can also be at the back end, making sure that insurance claims are being done properly. Service can also be having integrity in whatever you are doing, wherever you are. So practical examples can lead a project. You can lead a project. Okay, the project could be an outreach, or a project could be okay, ways in which we can improve patient experience and improve the patient care, the quality of care of that patients are receiving through finance, through health finance, through different things. Just as um just as medicine has the clinical aspects, which is into internal medicine, surgery, obstetrics, pediatrics, and their subdivisions. Non-clinical medicine also has its specialties, and I'm just learning about this now. It can be research, it can be administration, it can be management. Another thing, you can mentor a junior colleague. You can do this through the EIM platform, or you can decide that somebody can just reach out to you, a junior doctor, and be, oh, I see that you do this, this, and this. Is there any way or advice you can give? Now, you may not have all the knowledge in the world, but from your own experience, your own wealth of experience, you can actually say that, okay, this and this is what worked for me. This and this is not what are the things that did not work for me. Then you can volunteer in professional groups like EM right now there are lots of opportunities for you to volunteer. You go on LinkedIn, you go to different places. There's so much opportunity. The world is our oyster, and we can just keep pushing ourselves and keep being perfecting ourselves and to become good leaders. Then develop communication skills. This is extremely important because a lot of people do not have good communication skills, and you cannot go far in life without having good communication skills and emotional intelligence. Now, you don't need a position to start leading, you need a decision, the same conscious decision to act that any leader makes, position or not. And the first leadership project you will ever have is the ability to lead yourself. Because if you do not have a sense of responsibility to your own self, and that is by continuously making sure that you develop yourself both professionally and personally, then you will not be able to you'll not be able to lead other people. If you cannot be responsible for yourself, then you cannot be responsible for another people or even a group of people. So like I said, you don't need a position to start leading. Once people know you for ability for positive influence, initiative, integrity, and quality service, they will automatically put you in positions of leadership. The next one is financial diversification. This one is a bit tricky because a lot of doctors struggle with this, and I am not excluded. I'm still learning, but I want to share the knowledge. So one income stream should not define your future, especially if you are living in the Nigerian economy. You have to earn wisely, invest consistently, good investment opportunities, because there are a lot of Ponzi schemes out there that you can that can leave you financially devastated. Then develop new skills as well. You could also you could take some time. I know that it is difficult balancing work and trying to develop a new skill, but then some people have a natural flair for tech. You can go into coding. I know everybody is talking about artificial intelligence now, and it has its positive and its negative aspects. But you cannot dwell on the negative aspects. You have to also know what is the innovations that are being the global innovations that are taking place right now and decide to jump on that wave. Then you also create multiple streams of impact. It is only people only invest in things that create impact or things that make their lives easier. So practical examples are like teaching, like the teaching that we're doing. For example, I'm teaching about diversity, about succeeding in your career. Then writing, I write on LinkedIn about bridging the gap between administrative and clinical medicine. Let me speak on this a bit. As someone who was trained clinically for 6 years, then had 1 year housemanship, making 7 years, NYSC making 8 years, then worked for about 3 years, 3 years clinically. That's about 10 years of just pure clinical knowledge. I'm now going into administrative medicine, which I've only done for about 2 years. I realized that there is a very big gap between health clinical work and administrative work, and basically most of the time between HMOs and the clinical aspects. So the clinicians are doing their best, seeing multitudes of patients every day. I know because I have seen a lot of patients, and I've been on calls, and I've been exhausted, and I felt the burnout as well. And they're just doing our best to just save patients' lives. And then there's the administrative aspect that is just we cannot continue to run to run a healthcare organization without there being financial support. So that's where the clash is. So how do my role right now is basically merging both clinical and administrative medicine. And I've been learning on the job as well. I have had amazing superiors at the place where I work. Also, but then there's a limit to what everybody can do. You also have to be able to take your own career by by take the bull by the horns and be able to say, okay, this is where I am right now. This is what I'm good at. How am I going to get better? Who do I need to speak to? Who do I need to talk to? Just be intentional about your career. Then there's healthcare consulting. You could consult for different hospitals. Although people call this private practice, and you have to be aware of not burning your candle at both ends. Not that you'll be having.
Dr. Makinwa, I don't think we can hear you anymore. I don't know if it's only from my end. It seems to be a problem with the network. Please, can we pause the recording until she's back on? Up right now. Okay. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Can everyone still see my screen?
Yes, we can.
So sorry for the break in transmission. I think my network went off.
It's okay.
All right. So other things are health technology or administration. I'm slowly and intentionally branching into health administration. And I would let you know that it's not an easy challenge because unlike clinical medicine, where you have superiors, there are so many consultants you can talk to. Okay, I want to write primaries. Okay, I want to write PLAB. Okay, I want to write USMLE. Hospital administration, you will find the work, you will find the knowledge yourself. There's no clear driven path. You have to be able to you have to be able to live with uncertainty and then a lot of faith. Okay, this is what I want to do. This is where my skill lies. A lot of people have commented on the fact that I'm really good with administration. Even I gave you the backstory of what I did when I was in medical school. I didn't really think of it of okay, when I was going to graduate, I'm going to become a healthcare administrator. That was not my plan. My plan was to be a general practitioner or to do family medicine. I did not think about hospital administration at all. It's just something that I was naturally drawn to. And even at work, I was naturally drawn to it. When there's admission, when there were like the doctors working in the clinical field, I would be the one asking questions. Why is this? Because I was interested. You understand? And then it was because of the fact that I was always asking questions that people were able to notice, okay, okay, this person has something to say. And then yes, there's even a joke now that if there's a meeting, Dr. Makinwa has something to say. Dr. Makinwa has something to say. And to be honest, at a point in time, it really got to me like, maybe my own is too much. Let me keep quiet, you understand? But I made a post about it on LinkedIn that okay, it wasn't as if I was being attacked. It was just that you feel somehow that truly, am I the only one? You understand? But sometimes you have to let that voice that is trying to dim your lights, let it die. You understand? And you also have to be able to speak. It's only when you're able to speak that you'll be able to be noticed. Somebody complained that they could not hear me. Can you hear me now? Can everyone hear me
From my
now?
end, you're being heard clearly. So,
So there was a student that Dr. Joy, can you hear me now? She reached out to me on WhatsApp saying she couldn't hear me.
yes, we can hear you now. She's replied in the chat.
Okay, she can hear me now. Okay, sorry about that. So exactly, as I was mentioning earlier. Then the last one is investing for long-term wealth. Long-term wealth could also be an investment in yourself because there are like as physicians, there are so many exams, and these exams can also be not in naira, can be in foreign currencies like pounds or dollars. And if you are earning in naira, you understand that is a huge investment in yourself. And you also investing in yourself also means you have faith in yourself. It means being able to bet on yourself that yes, I know I can do this because you see so many people writing USMLE exams. I remember the first time I opened like the PLAB reading resources for PLAB. And I was like, is it me that is going to read this and pass this exam? And I have to encourage myself. There's literally no room, time, or energy for imposter syndrome because the world is moving at a fast rate. And you have no choice than to believe in yourself, put yourself forward. And if you feel you are lacking in a particular area, instead of shying away, still put yourself forward, get the negative feedback. In this part of the world, we call it bask post. You get your bask post, no problem. If you need time to sit down and cry, you sit down and cry, but make notes, this and this and this is what I need to work on, and this and this and this is what I need to improve on. Because you are, as a doctor, you still have people, I'm sure as a doctor, you still have to defend your DR title. Not because of anything, because people out there would want to say that, and you're a doctor, you don't know this, this, and this, and this. You have to be the voice of reason because a lot of people are saying a lot of interesting things out there. But bringing it back home, financial diversification, be able to invest in yourself, teach, write, healthcare consulting. You don't need to work in a hospital to do healthcare consulting. You can do virtual health consulting. You can work in there are a lot of telemedicine organizations now that are doing healthcare consulting, health technology. You can be involved in um the devices that make smartwatches and also all sorts of devices that help with healthcare. And please remind me, there is a program that is coming up that in Lagos for people that are interested in artificial intelligence and healthcare. I was sent the form. If I'm reminded, I will send it to the group chat. Yeah. The next thing is I want to talk about is the intentional physician. Okay, good. So the intentional physician is somebody that basically has all these four pillars. Now, I'm just doing a summary. Clinical excellence builds credibility. It is only when you are you have sound clinical knowledge that people are able to rely on. Okay, this person knows what this person is saying. This person has paid their dues. This person not only graduated but is involved in continuous learning education. This person reads. This person goes for seminars. This person is curious and wants to learn. Then visibility creates opportunity. Yes, after being clinically excellent, you put yourself out there because people can only recommend you on if they know that you are clinically excellent. Then leadership multiplies impact. Okay, you are able to just lead yourself for now. Okay. Even if you do not have a large crowd to lead, are you able to lead yourself? Are you responsible and accountable to about your goals in life? And an example is Dr. Jimmy is always saying things about, oh, we'll have an accountability session or a check-in session, and people take this lightly. I don't take it lightly. I stress Dr. Jimmy, but in a good way, and she loves me and I love her. But I go and I sit down. She says, okay, this is this. What is the time? Okay, time difference. What is it at? Or what time is it there? What time is it here? You have to be able to be mentored, and you can only be mentored. You can only mentor others if you are able to mentor yourself. Who are you? Ask yourself. If you've not written down anything today, write this down. Who am I accountable for to? Who am I giving feedback to? Because it's so easy. Life is stressful. It's so easy to just be carried away. Okay, I went to work, I took care of my family, the end. But for my career, if you are passionate about your career, that is okay. This career that I've decided to be passionate about, what are the steps that I have taken to make sure that I will succeed? Because as I said, I keep mentioning this boot camp that I went for because it was a major eye opener. It's called the Youth Professional Development, no, Young Professional Boot Camp 2026, organized by the Platform Nigeria by uh, um Pastor Podri, yes. So one person really I was in the corporate stream because we're divided into three streams: corporate, entrepreneur, and creativity. I'm in the corporate stream. And the person in the corporate stream just asked a very simple question. How many of you do you want to succeed in your career? And it's not a sarcastic question. It's a question you have to sit down and ask yourself. Because there's some people that are like never do any exams. They became doctors and they became medical officers. They did housemanship, they became medical officers, and that is where they rested. And they are very happy. And there is nothing wrong with that. If that is what you want, that is it. But for people that are ambitious, this cannot be the only thing that are saying to themselves, I want more from life, I want more from my career. You now have to sit down and write down what is this more that I want from my career. You sit down, write it out. Okay, this. Okay, what are the skills I currently have? Okay, what are the things I like to do? What are the things that come naturally to me? Now, it's not only about the things that come naturally to you, understand? It's also about the things that have value in the market today. Because you can be good at calligraphy, that's handwriting, but then who is going to pay for that now with the age of technology and everything? So that's that. So if you put these four together, excellence, visibility, leadership, financial diversification, you get something different from the stock doctor. I want to take you back. See this stock doctor. Yes, somebody that follows a script, just chases milestones, compares themselves to other people, and neglect career skills. And then we have an intentional doctor that has clinical excellence, visibility, leadership, financial diversification. These I'm trying to compare and contrast. So I want us to, this is going to be an interactive session. Now I'm going to the next slide. Yes, the action, yeah. So this is a case study. Dr. A, who is an excellent clinician. Let's imagine she is an obstetrician. No, I'm not attacking obstetricians, but those are the ones that I usually admire because of their energy. Yeah, she's an excellent clinician. She works hard, but she keeps her head down. When there's departmental meeting, she doesn't like to talk. She doesn't want to be noted as that girl, that lady that is too loud. She waits for opportunities. She doesn't create opportunities. She waits for them. She's really visible. She doesn't network. She just believes in, reading guidelines, being on, being at present at the ward round. She doesn't mentor anybody, and she's not accountable to anyone. Then there's Dr. B. Person is also an excellent clinician, also works hard, but she shares her knowledge when medical students or medical officers come. She's willing to share her knowledge. She creates opportunities. Please, like maybe she found out about this young professional bootcamp and she applied instead of waiting for them to give her the knowledge via a book. And as she's intentionally visible, she's online, she has her own Instagram, she has LinkedIn, she has all sorts. Then she builds relationships, beneficial relationships that will help her. And then she also mentors others. So now, who from 5 years from now, whose phone is more likely to ring for opportunities? Who is more likely to be invited to speak? Who is going to be more likely to be invited for thoughts on leadership roles and considered for opportunities? If you are going to speak, please, somebody must speak. Uh, if you want to speak, you will raise up your hand and then you will speak and you explain why. Okay, so this is where we'll wait for somebody to speak. So who has an idea?
I think
I'll call
I
for.
think everyone is answering on the chat group. Maybe you
No,
can
I want.
nominate someone to speak.
Okay, so I have to check the. Okay, I'll check it at my end. Or can someone just raise up? Anybody can speak. Or I can nominate somebody to. But I don't know the participants unless I check the
Okay.
chat book. Huh?
Dr. Grace, can you answer Dr. Makinwa's question? Dr. Grace.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, Dr.
Hello,
Grace,
I
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Okay, certainly Dr. B, who is an excellent clinician and intentionally visible. If people are looking for someone to speak in an event and if they're looking, they're more likely to find Dr. B than Dr. A. So certainly it's Dr. B that will have her phone ringing 5 years from now and be considered for opportunity.
Awesome. Awesome. So thank you, Dr. Grace. I'm glad you're able to identify that. So you can see that that doesn't mean Dr. A is a bad doctor. It's just that in medical school, we're not taught any of these things. We're taught to save lives. And so it can lead to frustration in your career because you see other doctors. This other doctor, we're on call together, we are on this together. How come she was the one that the HR picked? How come she's the one that gets the opportunity? How come she's talking there? How come she's making more money than me? And things like that. And you just keep quite you currently compare yourself to that person. So Dr. A can now be a what a stock doctor, just writing exams. She doesn't know what else to do than to read, write exam, attend to patient. While Dr. B is an intentional doctor. See how everything she's doing, she shares her knowledge. So to share knowledge, you have to be intentional about it because you cannot share what you do not have. So to share knowledge, you have to have the knowledge. Create opportunities. Okay, they're asking in the hospital who can lead this, who can volunteers for different opportunities, and then you make yourself available. And she's intentionally visible. Visibility will always attract attention, so you want to have positive attention. We don't want to be known for someone that is naturally curious. Yes, you raise up your hand, you may get the it's not all the you cannot get answer correct 100% of the time. You are not a robot and you are not good. So when you make a mistake, take it as a learning point. And I read a lot. I read in a particular book that what makes people successful is the ability to bounce back. Everybody gets hit in life. If you're not getting hit, that means you're not making progress. So your ability to bounce back after being hit. I'll give myself as an example. After medical school in 2019, I decided I wanted to do PLAB. I wanted to be a general practitioner. As I mentioned earlier, I never thought I would be a healthcare administrator. I wanted to be a general practitioner and I wanted to leave the country. So from 2019, I started with I didn't even wait to even settle down. As I was doing housemanship, I was already looking at PLAB. I saved up and I did IELTS in 2019. I got the cutoff score. So I was doing lessons for IELTS while doing housemanship. And then due to health challenges and burnout, I was not able to. I booked for the exam, the PLAB exam in for November 2020. I wrote the PLAB 1 exam and I failed. After I failed, I was sad. I was very sad. And then I almost gave up, you understand? But then someone encouraged me and I had to write PLAB 1 again. You understand? And to be able to I wrote the PLAB 1 again and then I passed, thank God. So I wanted to register for PLAB 2, but my IELTS had expired. So I had to write PLAB 2 again. I had to write IELTS again. Not because I had failed IELTS, but because it had expired. I wrote it again. After writing the IELTS again, I wrote PLAB 2. After writing PLAB 2, the first time I failed. I was just like, oh, then this is not for me. I got the energy and the money again, and I wrote PLAB 2 again. So I got my license to practice medicine, and then I did my MSRA. The MSRA, multi-specialty recruitment assessment, twice. You understand? And that was when the United Kingdom said that they were going to prioritize their own graduates, UK trained medical graduates. That thing nearly shattered my soul. So, at a point, I was just sad. I am a Christian and I believe in the power of prayer. I prayed to God about it, and then at a point, I just decided to sit down and just relax because it is God that knows everything. And I realized, what am I doing right now? I'm in hospital, basically hospital administration. I also work clinically as well, but I was like the things that I'm doing, they come naturally to me. People are saying that I don't know how you do this, and I'm sometimes I was like, these are things that are just easy. And I was not. This is not my primary training. You understand? This is I don't even know where I picked this up, to be quite honest. But then I'm merging clinical knowledge with what comes to me naturally. And I decided that, okay, let me pursue this path. It hasn't been easy. There's been a lot of uncertainties. In fact, when I was thinking about what to present, I thought maybe I'll just give it a random topic. But I decided to present on something I'm passionate about because this is my current reality, healthcare administration. So when I was introduced as a healthcare administrator, I felt a stab of I cringed a bit. I was like, me, healthcare administrator, since when? But then I realized that even in my job description, it states that I work in operations and clinicals. So yes, you have to own where you are right now. And even in the bootcamp I attended, something was said really stood out to me. You cannot conquer a global market without conquering your local community. So wherever you are right now, well, have you made impact? Have you even started? What have you done? Or are you that doctor that they have to call 5 times before she resumes on time? That is just known for perpetual lateness, just known for bad things. Let them know you for good things. Yeah. So that's that. So how do you actually start? All of this is very good, but I'm a pragmatic person. How do you actually translate this into action points? It's not about next year. You can start right now. Then let's make this practical. 30 days, 6 months, 1 year. And I thank God this is happening on the 4th of July. So this is basically the second half of the year. So you can still make a plan for the next 30 days, or we have 26 or 27 days left. The next 27 days, what am I going to do? What am I going to say that this is what I'm going to do in the month of July? So, and that's the next slide. Okay, my slide is not answering me. All right, so start where you are. Right here, right now, update your CV and your LinkedIn. And the world has become makes everybody so independent. You can update your CV by yourself. You can use ChatGPT, you can use Claude. and your LinkedIn. But if you're not comfortable doing that, there's many services right now that they're always asking, look, if you want to update your CV, LinkedIn optimization, all you have to do is ask. And I know that some people are not very fond of asking, but we have a group chat. Just put it on the group chat, or you can send a message to me directly, and I will try my best. I do not have all the answers, but I am willing to help. And or you can also talk to Dr. Jimmy. Again, whoever it is, just reach out. You cannot keep your problems to yourself. You will not group. Then identify one mentor. You can reach out to Dr. Dream. You can reach out to me. I will help you as much as I know. Again, I am still evolving, but I will share as much knowledge as I can. And if I do not have the knowledge, I am willing to refer you to somebody that actually has the knowledge. Then join one professional community. EIM is here. You can also look for other beneficial communities, not communities that want to use your license or want to just take advantage of it. Then read one career development book. Dr. Jimmy has just published a book, so you can ask her for it. And if you need other books, you can also find out about it. Then write down your 3-year vision. It doesn't have to be fancy type. You can get cardboard and get marker and get a masking tape and put it on your wall. What do I want to achieve in the next 3 years? Okay, this your major goal. I want to be a consult. I want to be a healthcare administrator. I want to be a consult, whatever it is. Then break it down. What can I do in the next 1 year? What can I do in the next 6 months? What can I do in the next 30 days? And then you build momentum. Then present or teach once. For example, I'm giving myself as an example again. Present or teach once. I am presenting to you today about thriving, not surviving in your career. Attend a conference or webinar or a boot camp. I attended the Young Professional Boot Camp 2026 in last weekend. There were 4,000 applicants. So a friend recommended it to me. I applied. I got in. And there was only 300 of us that were picked out of 4,000. I made sure I was there. I fought for. I had to ask for leave. I just made sure I was there. Then start a passion project. As I've stated, I'm a visually oriented person. The only way I learn is by writing, by reading, writing, things that I can see, colors. So it only made sense for me to be able to talk about my own path in life via comics. And that is what I do on LinkedIn. There's a comic, Dr. Dishi. And for people that don't like to be too visible like myself, Dr. Dishi is a male doctor who is practicing in Ondo State. You understand where I'm from? So if you don't want to put yourself out there, you can make somebody that will be taking the role for you, like what Dr. Dishi is doing. Then learn one non-clinical skill. I have never made a comic before in my life. Was it earlier this year or was either this year or late last year that I started making the comics? Yes. Then expand your professional network. Sorry, the things are blocking it. Expand your professional network. After when I went to the boot camp, I got involved, I got in touch with a lot of people. Now, as doctors, you can imagine, as a doctor, when I went for this boot camp, you can imagine my confusion because there's the corporate stream, there's the entrepreneurial stream, and there's the creative stream. I was thinking, as a physician, where do I fit in? Now, if you're a physician that wants to do that is creative, then you can go for the creative stream. For example, Dr. Jomi sent an IG post of a doctor that is a spinal surgeon or a spinal, yeah, she's a surgeon, a well-known surgeon, a man that has done residency, you understand? He's in the United States, and he has said that he's not doing medicine again and he's going to do TikTok. Obviously, if this was a proper, and he comes from a Nigerian home, you understand? So people are thinking that maybe village people are after him, but he knows what he's doing. So you can be creative. You can decide that this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life, and that's fine. Just invest in it and make sure you know what you're doing. For me, I knew it was healthcare administration. I went to the corporate stream. That's that. So my time is fast spent. So there's the design your future 1-year plan. You can build a personal brand. My brand is Dishi Dispensary, and I'm still working on it. I'm taking one day as it comes. Then create an additional income stream. I'm working on this. I don't have an additional income stream yet, but as I'm talking to you, I'm also talking to myself. Then find your niche. I have found my niche. And to find your niche is not, I know that if you don't know what your niche is yet, that's completely normal. You don't you niche, they are usually discovered. It's not chosen overnight. You just don't sleep and wake up. And if it has happened to you that way, then you are blessed. You understand? You start by exploring interest, gaining experience, finding mentors, and reflecting regularly. then it will reveal itself over time. Mentor someone else. You can't just be receiving. I have been part of EIM for about since 2020, so let's say 6 years. So Dr. Mbutujimi has been mentoring me for about, yeah, that's 6 years as well. So it is my turn to now give it. And you will know, if maybe it's in the process of talking to someone about helping them, that they'll talk to you, that you may find opportunities to help to grow your career. The last one is review and redesign your career plan. Yes, please do not be afraid to start over again. You can never start from scratch. You are already a doctor. So being a doctor is not, they don't sell MBBS certificates on the road. You already have a very good starting place. So even if you say that, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, you have some skills that are built into you from medical school. Your ability to withstand pressure, to make decisions in a high pressure environment, to be hardworking, to be diligent, to be able to amass. Do you know how much knowledge we have to amass to become medical doctors? Even if you're a medical student right now, you know what you're going through to pass your exams. It's not everybody that can do that. Yes. So understand, don't sell yourself short. I'm saying this because I used to sell myself short. So this presentation is very personal for me because I am living it and I'm sharing what I have learned, my worth of experience. I don't have all the answers, but I'm just sharing as it comes. So resources that to help you improve. You can read books. Like if you don't, and if you're not a reader, The Lady Catalyst by Dr. Jumi, is just, I think, under about 200 pages. Yes, I know it can be a lot, but if you say 10 pages per day, by the end of July, you'd have finished reading it. Or you can do something, or you can create a small. We did the book review, so if you were there, but if you were not part, if you were not chanced, then you can also create your own small group and just discuss. Then podcast, if you are audio inclined, there's a Mel Robbins podcast. Then newsletters, Harvard. I put Harvard Business Review because I'm into healthcare, finance, and administration. Then community, excellence in medicine, female. We already have a community. Just be involved, be present. So just pick one, anyone, and start from there. So does anybody have any questions? Yeah, I've taken a lot of time. Sorry about that. But does anyone have any questions? Hello? Does anyone have any questions?
Yes, the floor is open to questions. I have a question for you, Dr. Makinwa, but before I do ask my question, I want to say a very big thank you for such a wonderful and very inspiring and well thought out presentation. I'm sure everyone that's participated has enjoyed it. Yeah. So I have a question. First of all, I want to congratulate you for, breaking out from the mold and, charting your own course in medicine. That is something very brave. It's always safe to follow the lead down pattern that has been handed over to us, normal, become a consultant, and everything. So it's good to see you charting your own course, and it's really very inspiring. So my question is, now that you have pivoted into healthcare administration, I'm not sure the materials or the additional trainings that are available to you, right, for a doctor that has chosen this path. So can you tell us how you are trying to get, like, will I say formal training, or will I say formal qualifications, yes, to pivot into this realm or specialty, so to say? Thank you. So Makinwa, your mic is muted, so we can't hear you.
Okay, so sorry about that. So pivot into this new role, this hospital administration. It wasn't easy, and I'm not going to make it seem as if it's going to make it easier than it seems. It's not. I'm not trying to scare anyone as well. It's just that I looked around. Another thing I would encourage you is to be very observant. You understand? So I noticed, for example, the place I work in a hospital, an actual hospital. There's the clinical aspect and there's the administrative wing. The administrative wing now is, let's just say, I'm surrounded by people that are not doctors, So I'm seeing what they are doing, you understand? And I'll trick my head. What are you doing? Do you understand? So it's all about being observant. What are these people? What are the qualifications these things are people are doing and things like that. And also you have to, like I said, confidence, you have to be confident. I went to the HR and I told her point blank, this is what I want to do. She said, and then, they said, these are the qualifications that these people, you can always ask your HR department. Some people are afraid to meet HR. They'll say that, okay, different. I've heard a lot of interesting comments about that. Say that the HR will do this and this. Has it happened before? How do you know? How do you know that's what they're going to say? That's one. Another thing is that you can research for all these things. For example, you notice that, okay, I want to go into clinical research. I know that I think Dr. Pedro is into clinical research. You can go and ask her about it and ask her the things that she read. But if you, for example, if you want to do, there's something in healthcare finance called utilization management. So what I did was I went on LinkedIn. I searched utilization management. You understand? Because I'm a doctor just like you. I wasn't handed over the blueprints of healthcare administration or management. And I checked it and I saw the certificates that those people have. You understand? And I said, okay, where did they get these certificates from? I don't know. Who knows? Nobody else knows. Okay, go and ask ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will tell you where it is, where you technology is there to make our lives easier. Do you understand? So, as much as, for example, I know that there's something called CPP about healthcare coding and it, but that thing costs for about $400. I don't have $400 right now. So they said that there are other things you can go on Coursera and Udemy, and it is in the process of learning that you are now you'll be exposed to other opportunities where you can actually find these materials. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
I can't hear. Okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
thank you. It does, yes. Please, are there any more questions? You can unmute your mic and speak or drop it in the comment section. Do you have any more questions?
This is Dr. Jumi. I just want to say I'm so proud of Dr. Folakemi. I'm so proud of her. And this was really good, well thought up, really thorough. It was impressive. We learned a lot. Even for those of us in clinical medicine, we learned a lot. And it was just amazing. I would really encourage us to go back to watch the video when it's posted on YouTube. And I believe that this is the beginning of many more discussions for many doctors who feel stuck. Like Dr. Folakemi has shown us that you can pivot, right? And not just pivot, you can pivot and thrive. And she shared so many practical things that can help us thrive on our pivot journey. So this is just me saying amazing work. We need to have part 2, part 3, part 4. The conversations have to continue. And we're really proud of you in EIM. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jimmy. I really appreciate your kind words. Like, you see, this is mentorship, you understand? And she has poured into me over the years, and because of the encouragement, you know, feedback, like I said, feedback is not always, you're such a good person. Some feedback, you have to take feedback, and it's only when you take feedback that you can grow. So I really appreciate this platform, and I really appreciate this opportunity to learn. I know I took a lot of time. I'm quite sorry, but this is something I was passionate about. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Makinwa. We're all really pumped up and inspired by your story. Thank you very much for sharing and for the practical tips that we've been able to learn from your session. I don't know if anyone still has any more questions, but I'm sure if they do, they will
Hello.
Yeah, does someone have a question?
Well, it's not a question, it's just a
Okay.
contribution.
All right, please.
I just wanted to add about when she talks about financial streams of income. I just wanted to add that we can also have passive streams of income that doesn't have to be. It's good to have active streams of income, but you can also do things like investments that will give you passive income that you don't have to actively work on to be able to make them. Thank you.
Yes, that's very
Like
true.
things like stocks, mutual funds, rates, and so on.
Thank you so much. That's very true. Something I'm actually looking into. And that's another thing for networking opportunities. When I was at the boot camp, I met a lady, you understand, she's into finance and investment opportunities. She even pitched, she even was one of the people that were was chosen as one of the people that could apply for the grant. She was one of the chosen people. And I was like, wow, wow. I'm still going to connect with her. I just haven't had time. I needed to settle down because the boot camp was intense. If you can, I advise you to apply and go for it. You will learn. You will learn well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. So I think in the absence of further questions, I think it's safe to say that we've come to the end of our July check-in session. Once again, thank you very much, Dr. Makinwa. I don't know if you have any last words from us before we end this session. You know, that one thing that you want everyone to live with as we come to a close.
Okay. One thing I would, okay, no problem. That one thing which I would want,
just keep it brief and
okay, no problem.
Yeah.
That one thing I would advise everybody to do is that they should actually put themselves out there. It's that you will hear a lot of voices, even your own voice saying that you can't do something. Prove yourself wrong sometimes. Yeah, that's what I would like to say. Put yourself out there.
Thank you very much, Dr. Makinwa. Please let us show her some love in the chat session and tell her thank you for such an amazing presentation and delivery. Thank you so much, Dr. Makinwa. Yeah, take your flowers. Take your
Thank you
flowers.
so much.
All right, thank you so much. I wish everyone a wonderful second half of the year. Yeah, a reminder to lock in with your checking sessions. I'm also speaking to myself with Dr. Jimmy, and have an amazing July. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.